I mean, just to walk in here and see all these fans supporting us is unreal.
That's all you try to do is go out there and focus and do your job and just keep making one pitch at a time.
We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. They gotta sit back and watch, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the, we on our way to the, yeah, we on our way to the top.
Look, make sure you mention my name with the greats. Whole lot of talk, but it ain't no debate. We light it up like we causing an accident, but it ain't no mistake. Seat at the table, I carry the weight. They want the beef, so we hide the steaks. Bust in the kitchen and fire the chef.
We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the.
We can't be the guys that's gonna be timid and not knowing what's going on. You play hard, you play together. I mean, that's all we ask.
This is what we all have to do.
Be locked in, focus, just be disciplined, all right?
Now I feel like Kyrie, I'ma have to take the shot. If they tryna call me dog, I gotta hit the block. Started from the bottom, but we made it to the top. And I told them time is money, that's why I don't ever stop. I got my black hoodie with a rollie on, eating pasta like Corleone. I don't got time for no fake boy. If you got the money, gon' show me some. I got 2 whips and I'm self-paid. Never got help, bro, I'm self-made. Started from the bottom, but we made it to the top. And I told them time is money, that's why I don't ever stop. Hey, what up, say? Home up in the studio, so I'm locked in. My stock going way up, I got options. Yeah, they fine, but stop playing, you not him. Wait, the numbers going up.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
MCC has definitely benefited me most on not only what I want to do, but who I aspire to be. Expect every professor to help you become who you want to be and more. Create your own success at MCC.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
Son, all your car needs now is a stereo system. Now I know just the spot to go get it. Man, Jack Stereo.
Oh yeah, they're the best. How'd you know about that place?
Probably that's where my dad took me.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm the coolest cat on the block.
Oh my God.
Need a new audio system for your new ride? Jack Stereo has been selling the best stereos and equipment for generations after generations. Come visit your local store today. Those in the know, go to Jack Stereo, Waco, Temple, Killeen, and Bryan College Station.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and Audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
I mean, just to walk in here and see all these fans supporting us is unreal.
That's all you try to do is go out there and focus and do your job and just keep making one pitch at a time.
We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. They gotta sit back and watch, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the, we on our way to the, yeah, we on our way to the top.
Look, make sure you mention my name with the greats. Whole lot of talk, but it ain't no debate. We light it up like we causing an accident. But it ain't no mistake. Seat at the table, I carry the weight. They want the beef, so we hide the steaks. Bust in the kitchen and fire the chef.
We on our way to the top, yeah, yeah, yeah. We on our way to the.
We can't be the guys that's gonna be timid and not knowing what's going on. You play hard, you play together. I mean, that's all we ask.
This is what we all have to do.
Be locked in, focus, just be disciplined, all right?
Now I feel like Kyrie, I'ma have to take the shot. If they tryna call me dog, I gotta hit the box. Started from the bottom, but we made it to the top. And I told them time is money, that's why I don't ever stop. I got my black hoodie with a rollie on, eating pasta like Corleone. I don't got time for no fake boy. If you got the money, gon' show me some. I got 2 whips and I'm self-paid. Never got help, bro, I'm self-made. Started from the bottom, but we made it to the top. And I told them time is money, that's why I don't ever stop. What up, say? Home up in the studio, said I'm locked in. My stock going way up, I got options. Yeah, they fine, but stop playing, you not him. Wait, the numbers going up.
You got 8 seconds to prove you're worth the price of admission. And you got Baylor Scott and White Health along for the ride. So square up. You got this.
MCC has definitely benefited me most on not only what I want to do, but who I aspire to be. Expect every professor to help you become who you want to be and more. Create your own success at MCC.
RJ's Bargain Center is your home team for appliances at unbeatable prices. From refrigerators to washers, dryers to stoves, you'll find brand new appliances with huge discounts. And just like your favorite local teams, RJ's is proud to support our community and local sports. Score your savings today at RJ's Bargain Center, 711 Lynn Street, Waco. Call 254-224-6178. RJ's Bargain Center, where big savings are always a home run.
Son, all your car needs now is a stereo system. Now I know just the spot to go get it. Man, Jack Stereo.
Oh yeah, they're the best. How'd you know about that place?
Because that's where my dad took me.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm the coolest cat on the block.
Oh my God.
Need a new audio system for your new ride? Jack Stereo has been selling the best stereos and equipment for generations after generations. Come visit your local store today. Those in the know, go to Jack Stereo, Waco, Temple, Killeen, and Bryan College Station.
This is why you need Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis brings the realness. Dive into the heart of sports with the most passionate commentary around. From pro to high school, Jalen's got the insight and energy you crave. Catch all the action weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network, only on YouTube. Join the conversation and elevate your sports knowledge with Centex Primetime. Don't miss it.
Need video or audio solutions? Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency, can transform any event. Check this out. We're talking live streaming that's crisp and clear, event audio that hits every note, and church video and audio solutions that'll enhance worship. Corporate events, we got those on lock too. From concerts to conferences, Lighthouse Streaming and audio makes your vision shine. Book your appointment now at lighthousestreaming.com or call 254-252-4206 for a free consultation. Let's elevate your event and light up the stage.
What's up, everybody? My name is Jalen Gillis. You may know me from Centex Sports Network. We're starting a new platform, Recruit 254. Our mission is to highlight the amazing student athletes of 254. So if you're in the Waco, Killeen, Temple, Mart, Marlin, or any surrounding 254 areas, follow this platform and join the movement. Recruit 254. 254, let's run it up.
Hello and welcome back into Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis here on Centex Primetime, getting ready to bring you through the primetime topics in sports, not just here locally, but from all around the nation. Hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today and watching on this Tuesday. We've got a lot to cover today. NFL free agency is in full effect. People are getting that bag. Reggie Wayne tweeted out earlier and said, I was born 15 years too early because these receivers now getting the bag. We'll talk about some of the moves. NFL draft right around the corner. The combine just wrapped up last week. We'll talk a little bit about the draft as well. We'll talk about some local sports here. MCC, both men and women's team playing in the Region 5 tournament. Starting tomorrow, the women start their campaign as they'll be playing tomorrow against Howard College. The women are the reigning champs in Region 5 as they won the tournament at home last year. It was at the Highlands over on MCC's campus. This year, they're looking to defend their title in Odessa. They'll start their campaign tomorrow at 1 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, the men will play at 1 o'clock on Thursday as they get ready to take on Midland College. Talk about the Baylor Bears, who lost in the Big 12 tournament earlier today, playing against Arizona State. We'll talk about a little bit of a recap of their season and where they went wrong. Of course, we'll cover some quick takes, and we'll cover some NBA. NBA in full effect, only about a few weeks away from the NBA playoffs. So we'll talk about that and what's going on as well. So lots to talk about here. Everybody lock in, like, share, subscribe if you're watching with us over on YouTube as always. Joining me here today on the desk, we've got most famous man in Waco is what I've called him, the HBCU insider, Mr. Rocky Miller, in the building with us. Rock, back in action, man. What's going on?
What's going on, man? It's always I'm always good to be here. It's been it seems like it's been forever since we've been here, man. And I'm just glad to be in here talking sports, man. A lot has happened since the last time.
Yeah.
Sure. we were in the place, man. But it's always good to be here, and I'm ready to have these conversations, man.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump straight into it, folks. We'll start with a little bit of NFL free agency. Like I said, it's full effect. Guys are getting a lot of money already, seeing guys that aren't just the biggest name players, the household names that you would think, getting bags out here. Adafi Owe from the Commanders, he got $100 million. You know, you're seeing Romeo Dobbs got $70 million from the Patriots. Seeing all these different guys get a lot of money. But before we jump into those guys, I want to start with, as Rocky would coin them, America's team, because they have definitely been making some moves in this offseason, shoring up both sides of the ball. They've had some other news come out with their quarterback. It's not really saving the team money, but he's saving himself some money. Shout out to Dak Prescott, man. I'm proud of that boy for what he did in there.
Put his foot down.
Yeah, put his foot down, man. Hey, I understand. You're not going to come here halfway through and then take half of what I got already. That's kind of crazy. But shout out to Dak and these Cowboys, who have been making some moves already. Their biggest move was making a trade to the Green Bay Packers once again, this time for their edge rusher, Rashawn Gary. They bring him in for a 4th-round pick back into the fold to kind of replace what Micah Parsons has done. Now, I know I've seen all the immediate reactions. Everyone's saying, man, Rashawn Gary, he ain't Micah Parsons. He can't come in and do this like Mike. He was playing on the team with Micah Parsons and wasn't as good. Okay, cool. He's not Micah Parsons. But when you look at the value of what they traded, a 4th-round pick, bringing back a guy that has shown he can get 8, 9, 10 sacks in a year, couple him along with Quentin Williams in the middle, with Kenny Clark in the middle, with the new defensive coordinator signing that they got from the Philadelphia Eagles. I like the pick bringing in Rashawn Gary. I think they got him at a good value. Is he going to come in and be Micah Parsons and get 15 to 20 sacks? No. But if you get a collectively good defensive line, Rashawn Gary, the Kenny Clarks, the Quentin Williams, they re-signed Sam Williams on that defensive line. They still got Odigizua down there as well. I kind of like what they've done with the defensive line. Rock, what do you think about the Rashawn Gary pick and then what the Cowboys have done in the offseason so far?
Well, I mean, I think they did this kind of like a year too late, in my opinion. At the end of the day, when you saw the performance that our defense put on the field last year, and again, I juxtapose that to the kind of performance we had on the offense with having as many injuries they had on the offensive line and to our top wide receiver, and we still put up those kind of numbers. The defensive performance was way down in comparison. If we could have got just a fair defensive performance, I'm going to be honest with you, Jalen, we're a Super Bowl contender last year if we get just if we're middle of the pack. If we're 15, 16, 17, or 14, 15, 16 ranked in defense, we're a Super Bowl contender. We have a chance to go to the big dance, and that's unfortunate. We literally wasted a prime year of Dak Prescott and a cheap George Pickens and Javonte Williams. You know, we
and an injury-riddled NFC.
Yeah,
I mean, half the NFC was hurt the Cowboys.
Now, what I do think, what I have seen is that we address needs. We're going to be strong up front. We're probably going to have to play some young linebackers. So I look for us to get more linebackers in the draft and DBs. So up front, defensive line, we're going to be able to rotate guys because I think on paper we got probably the most expensive set of defensive tackles
for sure
in the league.
Easily, Quentin Williams, Odigizua, and Kenny Clark. Yeah,
easily. And so those are three frontline guys, and then you talk about, and then let's be honest about Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary is a guy, if he's constantly giving one-on-one, he's going to be successful on everybody in the league, on any average tackle in the league.
For sure.
And he's going to be able to get it done against guys like Trent Williams from time to time as well. So Rashawn Gary is a player. Now, again, he doesn't come with the reputation of Parsons. And you got to understand that Gary, when you look at just production, right? As a pass rusher, I would say he's on par with Parsons as a pass rusher, production-wise. I haven't, is he as versatile as Parsons? No, but I don't think we weren't using Parsons in a versatile fashion. Is he better against the run than Parsons? Probably so.
Yeah. For sure.
So, and I think what we're going to do this year is we're going to stop the run because we are in the conference with one of the better running attacks, which is the Eagles. I know they were down last year, but again, when you factor in the tush push, Saquon Barkley, things like that, they're one of the better running teams. And the main thing is you got to be able to win your division. And with it looks like the Giants are going to feature the running game as well with the kind of quarterback they have. If they can stop the run, they'll be in most of the games. And guess what? It's probably the Cowboys' theory about their season is they're going to put points on the board. They're going to put pressure on the other teams, and they're going to be able to get after the quarterback. If they can't ball control against them, then they're going to be the other teams are going to be hard pressed to keep up with the Cowboys because they're going to have a high flying, powerful offense because they have it. They're solid across the offensive line. Not great, but solid.
Yeah.
And then, Dak Prescott, who is who he is, Javonte Williams is who he is, Pickens and CD. There's not a better tandem in the league. So I look for them to be what they were last year. If this defense can go to middle of the pack, but if they can get some DBs, and I believe, and I'll go down believing this as well. Our biggest letdown last year was Eberflus. I don't think Eberflus had a clue as to what to do.
I agree.
With the personnel.
No idea how he got hired there. I agree with that. And I love the defensive coordinator that they just signed from the Eagles, too. I think he's going to bring a completely new flavor to this
I'm
defense.
surprised we didn't pick up any of those Eagles guys that were in free agency.
Yeah.
Maybe they were a little too expensive.
Texans came after Reed Blankenship early. I think they wanted to get Reed. Texans came and grabbed. That was our first signing, was going to get Reed Blankenship. So I think they wanted to bring him in as safety. So that one got away, but there's still a couple of guys that
but I also look for him to kind of shore up our secondary and get us a nickel corner some kind of way. I look for us to have.
They just signed Jalen Thompson from the Cardinals, who's a really good safety, long guy, fast, can get out there and make tackles. So I think he's going to be a big improvement in the safety department for them as well. And I think in the draft, they got a chance to get a real steal. Before the combine, when I was doing some of my pre-draft analysis, I thought they were going to be able to sneak in and get a guy like Sonny Styles. But after, obviously, the man-child-like performance he put on at the combine, he's going to go before that pick at 12. But there's a couple other linebackers that I think are going to be there at 12 that can be day one starters and day one difference makers for the Cowboys defense. One of them is C.J. Allen, the linebacker out of Georgia. Anybody that watched Georgia this year, you've seen number 3 all over the field. And then the other guy is a Texas guy, a guy that played at Denton Ryan, and Anthony Hill Jr. that played at Texas. If they can get one of those guys to shore up that linebacker, like you said, they're going to play some young guys at linebacker. But couple that with the veteran defensive line, couple that with maybe they pick up a couple extra guys on the DBs. I think the Cowboys can make some real huge improvements depending on how the first round of that draft goes. If they get a guy like Anthony Hill or a guy like C.J. Allen, and then maybe at the back of the draft can pick up another guy at edge or maybe another receiver, first couple of rounds I think are going to be pretty front-loaded. So I'm interested to see what the Cowboys are going to do.
So at linebacker, I believe we like LaFou or LaFou, whatever his name is, that guy. And I think, of course, we like Overshown.
Mm-hmm.
Shamar James, I'm not sure what we have there, but I think you're right. I think we're going to go back. We're going to get some young linebackers, and then we're going to shore up the secondary, and hopefully, one of the big things I hope happens with a competent front seven is that Deron Bland returns to form and becomes a pretty good corner again, because he's one of those guys that. He's technically sound.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, he's a guy that doesn't play the ball well. He doesn't get burnt, but he doesn't play the ball as well away from the line of scrimmage as he does close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't make many plays down the field is what I'm saying. Most of his plays are 15 yards and in. And so if we can encourage people by our pass rush to throw those short, intermediate routes, I think he can return to form as a big-time corner, having a defense that plays more of a style that he can play very effectively.
Yeah, if they sit back not in a zone all the time, but in the times they're going to get sitting back in the zone, they can get pressure with 4. Deron Bland is not a great man-to-man, track-down receiver type of corner. But if that ball is in the air, and it's wobbly or it's tipped, it's good as picked. That's over with. He is a guy that will come up with the football. So
or if he diagnoses the route early.
Yeah,
the route
if he can diagnose what's going on early, he's going to make a jump for it. He can get his hands on the football. We've seen that over the last 2 or 3 years that he's been in the league. They can get a guy like Avion Terrell out of Clemson, maybe late in the first round. They got that Packers pick that'll be late first round. They can pair a couple of guys together. I think they can make some real headway on that defense. The offense, I think, is to kind of set it and forget it. They've got their guys on offense already at this point. Maybe shore up some loose spots on the offensive line, but they've got their guys already.
I think ultimately we got to keep a guy around like James Houston.
Yep.
And we have to decide whether Donovan Izaraku is a player or not.
Yep.
I don't think we found that out last year. I think for him to play as much as he did, and for James Houston to outperform him in limited action, there were things happening last year as a Cowboy fan that you were wondering why wasn't James Houston playing more? Then you realize this guy was drafted
top of the second.
Yeah, top of the second. They're trying to get and you don't let those guys sit on the bench. You got to find out whether they can play or not, and we didn't find that out last year. He of course he's a fast, explosive guy, but it just didn't result to much production. So again, I'll say this: with as much grief as Jerry Johnson takes as a general manager and
Jerry
owner,
Jones, yeah.
Jerry Jones. I'm sorry. Jerry Jones takes as general manager and president. But last 6 or 7 drafts, he's hit on just about all his first and second round picks. That's better than a lot of teams can say.
Yeah, that's better than most teams in the NFL can say.
You know, those guys that even though other than Michael Parsons maybe when you look at Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, and those guys were drafted in the last 6 years, you know, those are 2 Hall of Fame caliber players, really, when you think about it. And you really, if you pick those 2 guys in 6 years, you'd be happy. But you've also added some guys like, I want to say like Thomas Smith. You've added some other guys you picked in the first and second round. Even let's be honest, they got tremendous production from Diggs while he was on the Cowboys.
First team All Pro.
Yeah. So they've been really doing good with the draft, and I would say where they have kind of let the team erode somewhat talent-wise is not being aggressive in free agency.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? They've kind of about the last 3 free agent cycles, they've just not really made any significant moves, and they let the talent level of the team, I guess degenerate. Yeah. And so now it's a time to bring that talent level up, and hopefully the defensive coordinator will be able to get us back on track. We got everybody back on offense, so we should be close to or exactly or possibly even better now and on offense. And now that Dak Prescott will not have to share that $60 million he's getting this year. I was talking to some people today, and they were giving Dak a hard time. They like to talking about, hey man, Dak's not getting married. I say, hey man, sometimes you got to thank the Lord for the blessings you don't get.
I agree. There was a lot of conversation on social media about the Dak Prescott, if y'all haven't heard, has called off his wedding about a month before. It was going to be one of the most expensive weddings out of anybody I've ever seen, at least, just reportedly on how much money they were spending on the wedding. They called it off because of a potential prenuptial agreement dispute, and he called the wedding off. Hey man, I don't see the problem in that. Some people are like, oh man, Dak, he just gonna call it off because he's not. Hey bro, I'm pretty positive when Dak met whoever the young lady was, he was already rich. Dak been rich for a while. It happens so fast, and we think about Dak Prescott. Dak been in the league since 2016. He's been on outside of rookie money since 2021. Dak been rich for a long time. This young lady met him halfway through it. You're not gonna sign the prenup. I'm sorry, you got to chunk the deuces up.
So Dak has made over $248 million since he's been in the league.
NFL contract money. That doesn't count endorsement. Yeah. It's probably another $100
Not to mention he's currently on a 4-year $240. And he's due to get 60 this year.
That's a whole lot of bread.
So my question, and this is what my deal is, right? As a businessman, no matter how much you love the young lady, and no matter how many kids she has for you, you can't go into a marriage without protection. And here's the kicker, right? He gets to set all the terms, and she really doesn't get to set any. Like people say, she wanted him to sign what's that? If he cheats, then she gets this, that.
Oh, yeah.
Why would he put that in the prenuptial?
Come on.
She doesn't have anything to lose. I mean, she doesn't have anything he wants.
Yeah. What happens if you cheat? What do I get?
Yeah.
The stuff I bought you, I get that back.
Yeah.
Like what?
So I say, so he wouldn't put that in there. He's not going to put anything punitive on his side in the prenuptials. Why? And then people talk about what Jay-Z had decided. I was like, hey, Jay-Z put that in there because he had a woman that already had $100 million.
Beyonce's a billionaire. Like, what are we talking about, y'all? What,
You know,
what are we talking about?
But what I'm saying is, she had money.
Yeah.
So just like
Ben had money.
Even if he didn't become a billionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
She still was gonna be okay.
Yeah, she was gonna be perfectly fine.
So there was a negotiation here. What is best case scenario for the future Mrs. Prescott if she doesn't meet that? I mean, I guess she could date the backup quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He got some money. Holla at Cooper Rush.
Yeah, but I mean, but it ain't 240.
No, it ain't like this.
So I mean, that's just one of the downsides, in my opinion, by marrying a rich guy and you're not wealthy. Same thing as if I was married to a rich woman.
Yeah.
She gets to make all the rules.
All the rules. All the rules. You're the house husband. Yeah, she's making all the rules.
So I just think it's one of those situations where if she and just think about this, Jalen, with him having so much to lose, if you can't get her to cooperate on the prenup, just think how the marriage is gonna be, bro.
Once you sign a dotted line, it's over, bro. It is what it is. The state of Texas says she deserves half of what you got, my brother. So you don't want to do that.
So half of, and here's the crazy thing, half of what he is getting has already been determined by the contract he signed before he married her. So she knows he's due $134 million. Right? Like at the time he signs that contract, it gets married. All the income made during the marriage, she has access to half of that money is considered hers, according to the state of Texas. Yep. Now here's where it gets kind of interesting. People say, well, he's still gonna have to pay child support. I say, you do know in Texas there's a cap on child support, and I want to say it's like $4,500 a kid. Like, I mean, are we really talking
$4,500 to potentially $60 million if he gonna make $120, you get half? What is $4,500 to that? Like, what are y'all talking about? Of course, I'm gonna pay the child support.
We're really talking about $80,000 a year.
Yeah, like, come on.
Is what we're talking about, and so
he made that in the quarter.
He may do an AD on. I mean, an Ant-Man on him. You know,
let me front load this contract.
Yeah, let me just pay that off right now. You know,
don't ask me for nothing.
But because those laws, and believe it or not, those laws are put in place to protect guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't help me and you out.
No.
If I pay $4,500, I need to.
It's over.
I'm going to a homeless shelter.
It's over.
You know, but they're put in place to protect rich guys, and so she really didn't have any leverage to negotiate.
Yeah, no leverage.
Either you get married,
no leverage,
accept the terms of his prenup, or you.
The leverage you got ain't worth $100 million, is what he said. You got some leverage, but that leverage ain't worth $100 million. So, hey, we gonna let you home by yourself. LaShawn McCoy was talking about it on their podcast. He said it best. You drive your car every single day, and you do not think about getting in a wreck, but you get insurance just in case one of these times when I leave out the house, I do get in a wreck. That's why you got it. It ain't just because I'm thinking
and that could
I'm
be a
getting in a wreck
$70
today.
million wreck.
Yeah, that wreck could be huge. So shout out to Dak, man. The Cowboys doing their thing. Dak is doing his thing as well. Hey, let's look at some of these other free agents moves that have happened so far, because dudes are getting money, like Reggie Wayne said earlier today. The first big news, I guess, was Max Crosby going over to the Ravens in a trade. I think that was a huge move for the Ravens, getting an edge rusher that they haven't had since, honestly, T-Sizzle. Since Terrell Suggs, the last time they've had a efficient pass rusher. To be able to bring him in the fold, I think he's going to be huge for this Ravens defense. They've got guys at every level. They got Roquan Smith at linebacker. They got Kyle Hamilton in the back. They got Marlon Humphreys at corner. They got guys at every level. Where they've struggled is creating pass rush. Max Crosby finally gets that trade. He said he wanted to stay a Raiders his whole life. You didn't have to lie, bro. You're already about to get a new contract. We know you was ready to leave the Raiders. Gets to go to a contender for the first time. Max Crosby won I think second in the NFL in sacks since he's entered into the league. Really good pass rusher. What do you think about the Ravens bringing in Crosby?
I think it's on brand for them. Yep. You know, I think it's on brand. They hired a defensive guy as the head coach. I think they have to get back to, the Achilles heel last year. I mean, they're a team that I believe if they have a typical Ravens defense, they're going to the NFL. I mean, they're going to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you, considering how Lamar played at the beginning of last year. The only reason why they were, missed the playoffs is because they had some games where Lamar Jackson played sensational, and they still lost the game. You take the first game against Buffalo, then he scores 30 points against I want to say maybe the Eagles or the Redskins or somebody, and they lose that one. And again, at the beginning of the year they were 1-4 and had scored like 150 points. Like I'm like, what the heck? So now that they're trying to shore that up, and they're counting on Lamar to be Lamar, and so. That's definitely a piece. I thought, so this is what, I know a lot of people wanted the Cowboys to get Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But here's what I thought, Jalen. If we're going to get Max Crosby, why did we let Michael Parsons
Doesn't make
go?
sense. It would have made no sense, and I agree with that. It would have made no sense to get rid of Micah, bring in a guy a little bit worse and a little bit older than Micah, for around the same amount of money.
He's 3 years older than Micah. And he's going, and again, even if it's $5 million less, even if, say $10 million less, at the end of the day, you're paying $30 million for a guy that's not as good and 3 years older.
Doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make business sense. And
you give up 2 first-round picks. That was the asking price for him. Then you'd have to give up 2 first-round picks on top of that. So,
And in a situation where I think you could have just franchised Micah and made him play under the franchise tag if that's what you were going to do, and then you could have took care of Micah this year. I just think, as much as the Micah situation hurt me, and as much as it hurt the Cowboys, because I think it destroyed the morale of the defense, honestly. When they traded him, and on top of that, them not being able to make any moves because they were trying to, keep the salary cap situation under control while they were trying to negotiate a deal for him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, them holding on to Micah and trading when they did was a huge mistake for last year.
Yeah.
I think this year they can kind of rectify that if they get if they raise the talent level on defense and they're able to play to a certain standard. My issue is had we missed our window just by virtue of the fact that we got another team, the Seattle Seahawks. Are they on the front end of a dynasty? And are they going to be, the Chiefs of the NFC, where we just can't, where no one can really just not beat them? Because I don't see anybody tooled up as well as they are. They're the youngest. They're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. They're really tooled up. They got a quarterback on a very affordable contract. I see them. They're shoring up their team, so to speak. They let Kenneth Walker go, but we all know running backs are the easiest position to replace on the offense. So let's see where it puts the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys should be better next year, but we'll see. But let me ask you this: what do you think about what your Texans have done?
Texans have made some good moves, bringing in trading for David Montgomery, getting us a running back in the fold. We were missing Joe Mixon last year. He ended up missing the entire season. We ended up releasing him. So bringing in David Montgomery, I think, will be huge for this offense. Bringing in a Braden Smith, the right tackle, a guy that's been solid for the Colts offensive line since he's been drafted there. He's been a solid tackle in the league for 8 or 9 years already. Bringing him in to kind of shore up some of that offensive line. Bringing in a Reed Blankenship to solidify that safety spot. We lost Jimmy Ward last year. We traded C.J. Chauncey Gardner away halfway through the season. Kalen Bullock's been a ball hawk. Jalen Petrie can full-time play nickel now. You still got Sting and Kamari Lassiter on outsides. I've loved the move that the Texans have made. I'd like to see them shore up some more offensive line guys, maybe in the draft. If we're drafting late in the second or third round, they shore up that offensive line a little bit more. I think they're good at receiver if their guys can stay healthy. Now they're saying Tank Dell will be ready to come back after missing all last season. I'm not going to get my hopes up about Tank Dell, man. You get shot and then tear up everything in your knee all at the same time, and you already 155 pounds. It's going to be tough for you to try to come back from that. But I like some of the other receivers that they have. So I've loved the move that the Texans have made so far. We know what the Texans' problem is. Can we protect C.J. Stroud, and can C.J. Stroud play like C.J. Stroud again? That's what we have to figure out. A free agent sign is not going to fix that. A draft pick is not going to fix that. Can Stroud play at the level it takes to be able to win?
See, I got a different perspective with C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
My deal is, because I seen it watching the Colorado team 3 years ago. When you get hit on every play, it changes who you are as a player.
Yep.
But then once you start getting protection, you're able to, with confidence, get at the top of your drop, know that you have some time to make a decision. I just think he got to the point to where he get the top of his drop, and even if he had time, he still has to look. He's looking to make sure nobody kind of trying to come take off his head. Now again, what I would be most happy about if I was a Texans fan is that the Texans are in good shape on defense. They don't need a high-powered offense. They're nasty.
Yeah.
On defense, and when I mean nasty, I mean they're nasty.
Yeah.
Like in a game where the offense was nothing, they still had a chance at the end
to be able to win
because the defense.
Yeah.
Like C.J. Stroud was literally playing for the other team.
5 picks. You threw 4 picks. It can't get any worse. It's worse than just not converting on third and fourth down.
The crazy thing, if they just can figure out how to get to Denver, they probably they probably play in the Super Bowl with a chance to win.
Probably, yeah. We got a way better winning than the Patriots. We had a way better chance of winning than them. They beat us by 10 points, and we threw 5. We had 5 turnovers. Like, what are we? Man, come on. We would have. It hurts as a Texans fan knowing that, because I know we would have beat Denver because they're playing with a backup, and Jarrett Stidham wasn't going to be able to get it done. And we got a great chance against Seattle, as great as that defense was, and everybody said.
Well, Stidham literally did a C.J. Stroud impression.
Yeah, he did. He threw the first play down the field. Everybody said, "Oh, Stidham can do it," and then
and that goes back to why we didn't get a chance to kind of have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I didn't think the New England Patriots had much of a chance.
Oh no,
because they hadn't been tested on their way to the Super Bowl. They hadn't been tested
all year. They played the worst schedule in the league. Then you play a C.J. Stroud who couldn't have played worse, and then you play Jarrett Stidham, and then wonder why you get your head kicked in when you get to the Super Bowl and you playing a real full team. Like I knew the Patriots fugazi. I appreciate that -4.5 that the Seahawks gave me on the Super Bowl. So that was easiest money all year long.
Yes, it was.
I knew anybody that watched any football should have known, man, the Seahawks was going to beat the brakes off the Patriots because they hadn't shown anything all year.
The only hope that you had as a Patriot fan is you would hope Sam Darnold would show up like the Jets Sam Darnold, and he didn't. Now, again, he didn't play lights out, but he didn't put the ball in harm's way.
Yeah.
And they were able to run the ball for 200 yards, I think.
200 yards, yeah.
So I think, and that's, not to go back in time, but I just think your Texans may have missed an opportunity as well.
They did.
The same way that I think the Cowboys missed the opportunity this year.
Absolutely.
With your situation was you guys weren't tooled up on the offensive line, and of course the Cowboys' defense was Swiss cheese.
Yeah, and I hate it for that reason, but it brings in a lot of parity for next year, because I said it maybe a couple of weeks ago here on the show. I don't see either one of those teams getting back to the Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. Patriots, I think, honestly have no chance of getting back to the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks have a really good chance of getting back to the Super Bowl, but they've obviously got some of their team picked apart, as always happens. You lose Clint Kubiak. What does Sam Darnold look like without Clint Kubiak now? What does Sam Darnold look like without Kenneth Walker in this offense now? So there's some questions. Can they still be good? Absolutely. But I think the Seahawks got some favorable matchups. I think if the Rams' defense was even decent last year, that the Rams probably would have won the Super Bowl. I think their offense is much better than Seattle. But to Sam Darnold's credit, he made the top plays when they needed to make them. He made the passes when they needed to make them against the Rams. But their defense was horrible. As you can see, they made a big free agent move. They go and get Trent McDuffie and give him $100 million from the Chiefs. So they're already thinking about how to shore up that secondary that got them killed last year. So, I don't know about either one of those teams.
A couple moves that I wanted you to get your opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my opinion. I think the Mike Evans move was a solid move, but it's more of a stopgap. What I'm surprised is the amount of money that they signed him for.
Too.
As I do some research, it looks like only about $16 million of it is guaranteed, so it's really a 1-year, $16 million deal. But, I think that's a solid move for
it definitely gives them receiver help. That was their biggest gap and their biggest hole last year.
What surprises me is they elect to sign Mike Evans, but let Juwan Jennings
walk in free
agency.
Yeah, I think he's asking for, obviously not Alec Pierce money, who got the most. I think Alec Pierce got $110 million, but he was asking for $20, $25 million a year, and the Niners have learned their lesson. They're not giving no more of their young receivers $100 million, $80, $90 million. They learned their lesson with Brandon Ayuk. They learned their lesson with Deebo Samuel. They're not going to make that mistake again, I believe. Like you said, Mike Evans is kind of a stopgap. I think he's a guy that's a touchdown guy. But for one, you got to keep him healthy. Mike Evans the last 2 years just hasn't been able to be healthy.
And with him going to play over there at Power Station.
that ain't the best place to go when you ain't been healthy the last couple of years. Once that radiation get to hitting your bones and you get to walk around like C-Mac.
And I, but can anybody stay healthy with the?
No,
I mean,
I don't
let's
think
think
so.
about it. Over the past 6 years, they've had some of the worst injury luck that you could imagine.
Since Kyle Shanahan
I'm going to be honest with you. You can say what you want to, but the only guy that has skill that has been able to stay healthy for the past 4 or 5 years for Mike Shanahan is Deebo.
But he will miss so much time in between. He wouldn't miss big time. Everybody else would miss big time.
No. I'm talking about injury. I'm talking about they were having injuries, and Deebo didn't have any. He
never had major injuries, but he would miss two games here, game here, 3 games here. But he never had a season-ending injury.
But to me, you're going in a 17-game schedule. I don't expect any player that handles the ball significantly to play 17 games.
Yeah.
And if you're able to play 17 games, it's just a stroke of luck. And especially how the schedule sometimes stacks you that Monday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sunday, Thursday.
Games, yeah.
So, and most teams get a couple of those a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Where it used to be only certain teams had them. Just about every team gets a Sunday, Thursday. So you're gonna miss it. But I'm just saying, Deebo was a guy that could stay healthy.
Yeah, he played majority of the games.
And the situation with Brandon Ayuk, I really want to see what actually happened.
I want to see if he's going to play football again, because the way that this situation has happened and how strange it's been, coupled with his very strange and mysterious social media post, I'm like, okay. At first, I was like, maybe he don't want to play for the Niners, but now I'm like, is this dude going to play football again? Like, did a head injury happen that we're not thinking about? And that's stuff that we have to honestly think about, because he doesn't act the same. Like, something happened where teammates have reported, multiple people said, like, yeah, he just started acting different. And now he just stopped showing up to the team. 49ers didn't send him home. He just stopped showing up. And they were like, we just haven't seen Brandon Ayuk in 2 months. Now we sent him home, and he said he's mad about a contract. He's mad. They don't know where he went. He was missing for a month, the last month of the season probably. So it's been some strange stuff going on with Brandon Ayuk. I'm sure that contract is already ripped up already. One of the main free agents that I'm ready to see, who's not technically a free agent, but we're already seeing quarterbacks getting signed now. Malik Willis getting money. Tua, we'll talk about him in a second, going to Atlanta. But Kyler Murray, a Texas guy, hasn't been picked up by anybody yet.
He can't sign.
Yeah, he can't sign because he hasn't been released yet. But I thought there would be more clamoring maybe for his talent, but I guess that's probably just because of the contract situation, him not officially being released. Because the Cardinals want somebody to trade for Kyler, but nobody wants to pick up Kyler's contract and take on all of that money, I believe. So it's kind of a waiting game. I thought he would be more of a high commodity, though, to this point in free agency, whether that be via trade or him actually getting physically released from the team and somebody picking him up. Obviously, there's multiple teams that could use his services. Atlanta was a team I thought of right off the rip, but they've already made their decision in bringing in Tua Tagovailoa. Minnesota, he's been linked to them already a lot. And, I like Minnesota because I think they got a competent play caller, and then he's got Jettas out there, receivers, so a lot of guys can have a good place. Miami was a thought. I thought he could go there, but we see Malik Willis getting the bag for them. What do you see happening with this Kyler Murray situation? Somebody pick him up? You think they're going to trade for him? Or how do you think that'll play out?
I think I honestly see Kyler Murray being in a situation where they want him to do the Sam Darnold rehab situation. He's been getting $30 million, close to $40 million the past 3 years. Nobody wants to pay that, pay out the rest of his contract. If they sign him, he's probably going to want the rest of that guaranteed. That's not going to happen. So he's going to have to, this is just what I think should happen. I think the Minnesota Vikings should do whatever they can to get their hands on Kyler Murray. With that team, those receivers, they would light up
absolutely
the NFC Central or North,
whatever
they call it.
Yeah,
and he comes in and he could potentially compete quarterback wise with all those other guys, considering he was a first-round pick overall. Goff would be a first-round pick overall, and then Caleb Williams would be a first-round pick overall. The only guy that that wouldn't be a first-round pick overall would be Kevin Love, but he would be one that, not Kevin Love, but
Jordan Love.
Yeah. But he's a guy that they're paying. He's getting top dollar, so he would add a real serious quarterback threat to those teams. Hey, let me be honest with you, man. Kyler Murray got a bad rap ever since they didn't want to sign him. They didn't want to sign him to the deal that they signed him to. They immediately regretted and then started leaking all of these things about him playing video games, this, that, and other, whatever.
It's not a leader. The film clause they put in his contract.
The reality is that you regretted paying him all that money when you signed him. Immediately after that, I think maybe I think right after they signed that contract, I think they let the GM go or something like that. Maybe they let the GM and the coach go.
Coaching staff,
coach go.
Kingsbury guy.
Yeah. And so I think that's what really happened. Kingsbury left. I think Kyler's a really good player, and I think
do too.
With a competent offensive line and those weapons at Miami and in Minnesota, I think that's a perfect, and playing indoors.
Oh yeah.
I think that's on that turf. Come on, man.
It'd be showtime.
That's a match.
Him and Jettas out there. They got a running game.
Man, come on. That would be.
You got a good.
That would be
play
sensational.
I agree. He's gotten a bad rap at Arizona, like you said. They tried to come out and kind of tarnish his reputation and show why he's not worth the money that they already gave him. When in reality, he's playing on one of the worst teams in the league. Like the Cardinals have been terrible talent-wise. Forget whatever schemes they run all. They don't have talent. The 1 year he came there with Cliff Kingsbury and they had talent. They went and got DeAndre Hopkins from they won 11 games and went to the playoffs. Cardinals haven't sniffed 10 wins since that very moment. They lost all of those guys they had out there on both sides of the ball. So he got a bad rep. I think on a team like Minnesota,
I think he's the kind of guy from a personality standpoint, they want him to be one way, and he's just some other kind of way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want the quarterback to be the vocal leader, the de facto guy that's willing to speak and do the coach's bidding sometimes. And I don't think that he's that guy.
I don't think he's that guy
I think
either.
he's just a hooper or a baller.
You just put him out there. He can play whatever you want him to go out there and do. He's a guy that can put up numbers. We've seen him put up numbers. So I think somebody's going to get a steal whenever they get him. Geno Smith is going back to the Jets. Do you think the Jets will stay with him at quarterback? They traded a late 7th-round pick for him to come back into the fold in New York. Do you like the move of Geno going back to the Jets?
Man, I don't like nothing the Jets do.
Me.
I mean, Aaron Glenn is a Texas guy.
Yeah. Yep.
But they just don't look like they're a really organized group.
No, they're not serious about football.
I think they want to win, but it all goes back to what you're willing to do, and I don't know that they're serious about football. Like you said, I don't think they're serious about football. I think they want to give the illusion that they're trying to win, but they're just not serious.
You need to just fully go into a tank rebuild mode. You already got rid of half of your players already. Put Garrett Wilson out of his misery finally and get him on another team. Outside of that, man, I don't have anybody. The franchise, Breece Hall, franchise tagged him, and then Breece Hall tweets out and says, man, this show does look like the Jets got a lot of money because they signed 3 or 4 guys while in the middle of franchise tagging him. But they don't have any direction. Aaron Glenn, like you said, I like the dude. He's a Texas guy. He's a black coach in the NFL, so I'm rooting for him there. But your calling card is supposed to be defense, and y'all the first team in NFL history to not record an interception in an entire season. So as some of the blame goes to you, there was some extremely questionable play calling last year on both sides of the ball. So, I think they're just a dumpster fire and a disaster. But shout out to Geno. What do we think about Tua going to the Falcons?
I mean, I think they want to – they bring another injured guy in to hope that for insurance for another injury-prone guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, hey, man, I wouldn't ever want to depend on a guy that's one hit away from being retired. In this league and playing, depending on him. Now, again, I think that could, like in my opinion, that's another place that I think you could bring Kyler Murray in and with those weapons, he could do really well. Now, how him and Kevin Stefanski gets along?
I don't know.
Kevin Stefanski is a great enigma to me because whether it be Baker, whether it be what's the other guy, Dylan Gabriel, or now Tua, I think he likes short quarterbacks.
I don't know, and I don't know what it is. I was wondering, what made, if your quarterback is injury prone and might not even start the season next year, Michael Penix, why would you bring in a dude like you said is one hit away from being retired, and then one soft hit away from missing 3 or 4 games because he's always missing games outside of concussions. He misses games.
He's not going to play the whole season. Like you can
it's guaranteed.
You can't put. He's not durable enough.
No.
To be honest with you, their O-line isn't sturdy enough. So he's not going to play the whole game. What I do think now, let's be honest, right? What I do think he's the kind of guy, because of the way he plays the game, he can satisfy your weapons and get those guys statistically viable. Even if they don't win a lot, they can feel good about how they're playing.
Yeah.
But when it gets to nut cutting time, I don't think Tua physically stands up to what's needed to win big in pro football.
Yeah,
I just think a non-athletic, sub-6 foot guy. Tell me where that wins in this game.
He doesn't have the best arm. It's not like a Kyler, who we were just talking about, that's a shorter guy but's got a cannon arm. It's not like that. He got a weak arm. He's not athletic. Can't get outside the pocket. Very questionable decision making as far as accuracy, putting the ball in the air. I just don't get it, especially for a team that seems to be a quarterback away.
You can't even compare to Kyler. No. Like, other than height, that's the only thing. Wait a minute. Kyler is hyper athletic.
Yeah.
Hyper athletic. And then he has a cannon for an arm.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can't even compare those two guys. Now, again, I didn't see much for Michael Penix this past year.
No, me
You
either.
know?
I don't think he's the guy
Matter
either.
of fact, the team got better when Kirk Cousins. I'm just being honest with you. They got better with
Made
Kirk
a playoff
Cousins.
push.
Kirk Cousins. So, again, I just think, I think Tua, believe it or not, I think Tua is going to be their day one starter. And they're probably going to, send Penix to. It'd be fun if they sent Penix to Minnesota, but but I think Minnesota has to decide what they're going to do with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
And once that, believe it or not, I believe that situation is going to trigger a lot of other situations in this league. Because believe it or not, J.J. McCarthy is coming into his third year.
Yep. With minimal amount of football played. A very minimal amount of football played.
But a lot of horrible football.
Yeah, and the football that he did play was terrible. He got some really, really bad film.
He's really got, let's be honest, he's really got one quarter of solid football. And I want to say that was the last quarter of the first game he started.
That Sunday night football game, and they said, it's McCarthy time. That his teammates call him 9. They don't call him JJ. He wants everybody to call him 9. Hey, man, stop it, bro. Y'all missed on this guy. Y'all drafted a dude that handed the ball off for 3 years and won a natty. And now you have to come to terms with the fact that we drafted a guy that handed the football off.
Let's be honest. And I tell you this every time. There's going to be some Caucasian quarterback
it never fails.
That comes out of nowhere that they're going to say, he's the man. We know he had never done it, but he has the traits. He has the moxie.
Every year. They're going to find a guy that just look. He's just going to be tall and white.
He's a winner.
He's going to be tall and white. They'll move the goalpost around to the attributes.
And my question this year about, and kind of moving into the draft, is about the number one quarterback overall, Mendoza. I know he played well in the playoffs. But was he the reason they won? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Do you put his performance up there with a guy like Cam Newton?
Nope.
Do you put his performance up there with even a guy? Did he have a college performance like a Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray or any of those guys? Like, none of this was remarkably. I know he won the Heisman, and I know he was.
Somebody got to win it.
Yeah, somebody.
Somebody got to win it.
But at the end of the day, when you just compare his numbers to just a fifth pick, Shedeur Sanders' numbers from the previous year, they don't even compare. They're not even.
With the lights out, much better roster.
Yes.
Than the Shedeur Sanders has. So, no, I don't. This is going to be one of the more underwhelming quarterback classes, kind of similar to a guy that also got paid today, Malik Willis, when their draft class came. It was a terrible quarterback draft class. Shout out to Malik Willis, got paid by the Dolphins. But I think this year will be the same thing. They're already finding, you said they're going to prop up, find a white guy. I've already found who it's going to be this year. It's going to be Ty Simpson. His name is moving further and further and further into that first round.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like,
well, let me say this about Malik. You could go back to that draft where they drafted Malik Willis. I believe he was drafted. I can't remember what round he was drafted.
Third or fourth, but he was the second quarterback off the board.
Yeah,
I want to say he was the fourth round.
Yeah,
got drafted by the Titans.
But he was a tremendous athlete.
Yeah,
tremendous athlete, and I think what happened to Willis was, it's simple. The next year they come back after him and draft a guy that's supposed to be that his ice was supposed to be colder.
Yeah.
And he was just a workout. He was a workout guy. You know what I mean by that? Is he had all the measurables, he had the strength, and he was
All-American.
Yeah. He won the Underwear Olympics. You know what I'm saying? He won the Underwear Olympics, and he has the moxie, the attitude, the what's it called? He's got the swagger. That's another thing. Yeah, he got the swagger, and then they wanted whether Willis was better or not didn't matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to see the guy behind him. They wanted to see the guy. What was the
Will
quarterback?
Levis?
Will Levis.
Yeah,
They wanted
Will
to
Levis.
see. They picked him up at the top of the second round,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted to see Will Levis. And so at that point, Malik Willis didn't have a chance.
Yeah. Goes to Green Bay, performs great. Matter of fact, when he got traded, he ended up having to play the next week because Jordan Love got hurt.
And
he
won the game.
throws for like 250 and wins the game. So maybe he doesn't suck. Maybe the Titans suck. We seem to give up on these quarterbacks so quick. That's why I'm glad he got paid. I wanted him to go to Miami, but I wanted to see him in Miami in that same Mike McDaniel offense. With Mike McDaniel now gone, I'm not sure.
I think they're going to get the same kind of offense because didn't they sign the LaFleur, one of the LaFleur brothers?
Yeah, Matt, I think, or Mike.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's either going to be a Shanahan or or what's the other guy in the Rams?
McVay. Somebody from that tree. Somebody out of the old Shanahan West Coast offense tree.
Yeah, so
I think, he'll be fine. They got Devin A. Chain down there still. They got weapons. I'm happy for Malik Willis, the fact that he actually went out there and got paid. You just talked about Mendoza going to the Raiders. Everyone knows he's going to be the first pick in the draft. They go and get a Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens. I think that was a huge signing. If you know you're going to get a quarterback in the first draft, you sure up a guy that the Ravens honestly just couldn't pay. It's not because he wasn't worth it. He's the best center in the league, but they couldn't afford to pay that type of money and pay Lamar Jackson the type of money that he's going to ask for next year. So Linderbaum goes to the Raiders. They make some good pickups. Do you think the Raiders will make improvements with a guy like Mendoza coming in to kind of rein the helms at quarterback?
Man, I don't like rookie quarterbacks on last place teams.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if you're a rookie quarterback and you're coming to a team that was a playoff team, then I see where you may be able to do something. But at the end of the day, this is a rookie quarterback that's coming to a last place team. I don't suspect him to do any better than Cam
Ward did.
Ward did last year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a similar situation where he's learning on the job. And in my opinion, he's not as good as Cam Ward.
No.
Matter of fact, I'll even say this. If Mendoza plays Cam Ward in the championship game, they lose.
Absolutely. Oh, if Cam is still on that Miami team, oh, man, they not losing a game. Let's just put it with that. Miami wouldn't have lost. They only lost 2 games this year. They probably wouldn't have lost any game if Cam was on this version of Miami. Yeah, definitely not. But, Mendoza, you got to pick somebody. Raiders are going to have to pick a quarterback. Mendoza's the best quarterback in this draft class. I 100% agree with that. But that's not really saying much, in my opinion. Mendoza being the best quarterback in this draft class is being the skinniest person at Fat Camp, in my opinion. Yes, he is this year's best quarterback, but this is going to be an all-time bad. Let me not say all-time bad. This is just going to be not that good of an NFL, of a quarterback draft class coming into the draft this year. We'll be doing more draft analysis. Obviously, the draft right around the corner coming in April. We'll be doing a lot more draft analysis leading up to this. I want to transition a little bit, talk about some local sports here while we got some time left on Centex Primetime. As I talked about at the top of the show, MCC basketball going into the Region 5 tournament. Last year, it was hosted at the Highlands here in Waco, Texas on MCC's campus. This year, it'll be in Odessa, Texas. The women will play tomorrow at 3 o'clock as they get to defend their Region 5 title against Howard. I think MCC, the women's team, they've got a great chance to come in and be able to win this tournament again. They've lost against some really good teams this year. They got swept in the season by Grayson. Grayson's going into the Region 5 tournament as the number 1 seed. So they'll have a chance to try to redeem themselves against that same Grayson team. Close games both times that they lost. Obviously, I got a chance to call both of those games. They're coming in playing a Howard team that's really good as well. I think MCC over the last 4 or 5 games have really started to find their niche offensively. They were kind of trying to find out what direction they were going to go offensively this year. But they found their player, and a player that was really highly recruited last year but got injured and did not get a chance to participate on that Region 5 championship team, and that's Sharavia Smith. She has really excelled and stepped her game up as the season has gone on, and I think that's just a factor of getting healthy. Last year, she missed the entire season. She was slated to be one of their best players, if not their best player on last year's team. Missed the entire season, comes in this year, kind of gets off to a slow start. but in the last few games has just completely dominated. They won against Southwestern in their last regular season game. That game, she had 17 points and 12 rebounds and playing limited minutes because she fouled out in the game. Laniza Johnson, another one of their post players, has averaged, I talked about it with Coach Trokum when we called a game together a couple of weeks ago, has averaged a double-double for the year. She's averaged 13 points, 10 boards for the year in that closeout victory last regular season game. She had 19 points and 16 rebounds. So they've got the best rebounding team, I believe, in this tournament. They've got a great chance to be able to win because of that. They can play inside out. They got some – it's going to depend, can their guards hit shots? When they kick the ball on the outside, can those guards knock down shots? I think they're probably the best defensive team in this tournament as well. So I love the product that Coach Candace Thomas has been able to put together this year and the team that she's been able to put on the floor this year. They went 25-5. I think they've got a really good chance to compete. On the men's side of things, somebody you know pretty well, Rocky and Coach Kevin Gill, got another chance to really compete. I called them at the end of this season the most underrated team I believe in the nation. There's different things that go into the ranking system and how teams get ranked. But for this MCC team to come in, they'll be the number 1 seed in the tournament. But for them to come in being the 18th ranked team in the nation, I think is borderline almost disrespectful. It's a team that hasn't lost in 110 days. They haven't lost a game since November 20th. And the only single game they lost this year, they went 28-1. They lost on a buzzer beater shot on an away game playing against Paris, I believe it was. On a last-second buzzer beater, they lost 78-77. That would be their only loss for the year. They've completely and totally dominated their conference. Now, I believe it was a slightly down year for their conference, I think. But you can only play who they stick out there in front of you. They dominated. They've gone 28-1. Rocky, this team is really good going into the tournament. As I said, they'll be the number 1 seed in the entire tournament. But you've seen Coach Gill put out these type of teams year in and year out. I believe this is one of his better teams going into the season. They've got guys that can score. They've got, I think, one of the guys that come along, one of the players you like watching on the team, Max Blank, the big man out of Germany. Yeah. He starting the last 3 or 4 games, and he delivered, had a double-double in one of their last games. He's been a good defensive anchor for them as well. How do you think Coach Gill is able to put out these consistently good teams year in and year out for MCC?
So I think Coach Gill is a coach that knows the style of play that he coaches, meaning that he knows what works for him. And he gets kids that play hard, right? They may not be the most talented, but he gets kids that are willing to operate and work in his system. And his system is all about effort and, of course, being able to shoot that ball, right? And somehow he's able to find kids year after year that are willing defenders and pretty decent shooters. And as far as, what he likes in big men, he likes those big physical big men that can, they don't have to be offensive juggernauts, but they have to be willing to, help defend, move, and be able to provide some resistance inside the paint. And so I think he does a great job each and every year finding those kind of kids and getting them to play together. I mean, when you think about Coach Gill and his consistency, it's second to none. It's second to none. I'm surprised that he's still, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that he's still at MCC considering how consistent he is, how well he coaches his team is always well coached, and how at the level that they compete in, they're at the top or they're winning the championship every year, it seems like. And so I look, and this year is no surprise to me. When you go over there in the Highlands gym, you better be ready to play, and you better be ready to play hard, because if you're not able to meet their intensity, their physicality, you can't beat MCC. You just can't. I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to beat them if you can't match the intensity and physicality that they play with. And that's regardless of the size of the team.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
That's regardless of the size of the team. And I think he coaches to what his personality is, and which is he's a disciplinarian. He's an extremely disciplined person. He's not a fake tough guy. He's a real tough guy. You know what I mean? You know how some guys are just they're playing the part of a
We see plenty of those coaches.
Yeah. He means what he says and says what he means.
Absolutely.
And if you don't believe he means business, he'll give you splinters to show you. You know what I mean?
He's got no problem telling you how he feels. He's got no problem letting guys walk. I've been surprised over the years of seeing some of the talent. Like, man, how you let that guy get out the door? Because it's not about the talent. It's about his culture of his team. And I believe, to your point, that's why they've been able to put out consistent product year in and year out. This is a team coming into this year that I thought would be a good team. They'd be a conference champion. But to see the team, how they progressed throughout this year, he's brought back guys from a last year's team that went 28-3, lost in the region championship game against a really, really good South Plains team. This year, they've got 3 or 4 guys averaging in double digits. They got guys that can shoot the ball. They got a kid that's shooting 40-something% from the three-point line in Aiden Law and what he's been able to do this year. They got a guy in Amari Banks who had a 5-game stretch of 20-plus points in conference. They got size and a big man in Max Blank down low. They got a guy in Timmy Abenkunle, a guy that I'll have to show you some of the film of what he's done this year, Rocky. He's easily the most athletic player MCC has had since I've been covering MCC, I believe since 2019. I mean, the dude can take off from anywhere. In the last game, he had a dunk where he jumped from outside the dunker circle and put 2 guys in the rim. So when you add this talent all together, man, I think the sky's the limit for this team.
You know, I'll even say this. When Coach Gill's teams are really good, that make those long runs, it's not really because of how they play or whatever. It's really about, are they able to be 100% down the stretch?
Yeah.
And so we know that in previous years, a few times this year, he may not have had the group of players that he started with. You know what I mean, due to injuries or other situations that may occur. But this team has stuck together. Looks like they're healthy going into the tournament. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they have as good a chance as any as coming out of that regional tournament. And I wouldn't be surprised if they win it. But I think, to your point, even if they fall short, I think they've done enough, to my opinion, to where they should get a at-large bid to the
I believe so.
national tournament.
29-1.
And
the
I
record.
think I'm not sure where the tournament is played at this year.
It's in Odessa.
The national.
The national tournament. Oh no, I forget where it's going to be at this year. I have to look it up. Where the national.
Yeah.
Is.
So, but anyway, I think that even if not, but again, Coach Gill is not going to the regional tournament thinking about some at-large bid. He's going there thinking about winning the whole darn thing.
Because if you win it, you get the bid regardless. So that thing is to go in and win it. And I think, like you said, they've got as good a chance of any of those teams. South Plains is going to be really good. They started off against a really tough Midland team that's, I think, 25-5 on the season. But to see the dominance that these guys have had.
How they do in that game right there?
Versus
have they
Midland?
played the first Midland?
They haven't played Midland so far this year. I'm trying to think, who did they play? No, it was Paris and Kilgore that they played that were ranked earlier in the season. They haven't played against Midland, but they played them last year in the tournament, in the regional tournament. They beat them, and I want to say, was it Clarendon in the second round as well? They beat a couple of those teams out the West region last year.
I think to 2 teams that they had trouble with last year. Well, I ain't gonna say trouble. Well, I think they either. I think they beat Frank Phillips, who was a really good team.
Really good team.
And then losing a close game to South Plains,
yeah,
who was loaded.
I mean, they had 3 of the top 10 players in the nation on their team, and I think 5 of the top 30 players in the nation on their team. So, yeah, that was a loaded team. They were getting NILs. There ain't a lot of NILs getting passed around, but they admittedly were giving out NIL deals to South Plains. So, yeah, they paid for a really good team.
They had a kid who had played for Kansas and Texas.
Yeah, Arterio Morris. Yeah.
So I wonder where he's at this year.
He ended up at Bethune-Cookman.
Really?
Yeah. He played at Bethune-Cookman this year. So that's where
they won the SWAC regular season.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking at him tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's where he ended up going to with Bethune-Cookman, man. So, but I think MCC's got a great chance to win it coming into this. 14-0 in conference. They went undefeated in conference. They on a 22-game winning streak coming into this game. Like I said, haven't lost in 110 days. So shout out to Coach Gillen, shout out to MCC for putting on a good product. Real quick, I want to talk about the other team here in Waco, down the street from them, the Baylor Bears.
Talk about?
A lackluster performance this morning. I got up and said, okay, let me watch and see what the Bears are going to do. Maybe they'll give me a little bit to hope for to start out my spring break here and going into the Big 12 tournament. Because regardless of your regular season
you should have went
record,
to Padre.
Yeah.
What's that? Where else do they go? They go to Padre. What's the other place?
Padre, Cancun, Miami.
No, I'm talking about the other place down
in Texas.
There. Yeah.
You got Galveston down there. You got Port Aransas.
Port Aransas. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, you could have went to Port Aransas. That's what I'm saying.
It saved myself a trip, but Baylor came out against Arizona State. Came out slow in the game and made it a game towards the end. But I mean, the same thing, man. Inefficient offense. They can't run an offense. You got two guys that are going to be lottery picks this year, and Tunde Yusufu and Cameron Carr, and you can't find a way to put together consistent offense. What do you think about the lackluster season from the Bears this year?
Man, I mean,
16-16 is what they finished.
So I'm gonna use more football analogy. You could have the best wide receivers, a great tight end, a good running back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got me at quarterback,
absolutely,
you ain't got nothing.
Yep.
And that's what the Bears have. They have a great team with no point guard.
Yep. That was their biggest weakness.
If that team has a kid that played point guard a couple years ago, I can't remember his name, but the kid, I want to say he's with the tattoos. I can't think of his name. There was on this team they had 2 point guards on the team. Maybe it was 2 or 3.
Was it right after they won, or was it the year they won?
It was right after they won.
Right after they Keontae, he's on Keontae George. On the oh man.
Yeah. If they had him or the guy that played with Cryer. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
If they have him, this is a national championship caliber team in my opinion. He played with Cryer. The last year Cryer was here. And he was the point guard. He allowed Cryer to play off the ball. I want to say his number was 10. I can't remember what school he came from, Purdue or so. I can't remember where the kid had come from. But anyway, but he was.
I'm gonna look it up while you talking.
But if they have a kid like that at point guard, a kid that can, a true point guard that can score when they need him to score and can get him in the right offense. Then they got a shot. But this guy, they didn't.
Was it Flagler? When they still had Adam Flagler?
Yeah, Flagler was on the team.
Yeah. Because the year after it was Keontae, L.J. Cryer, Adam Flagler. Those were the guards they had. It might have been the year after that you was talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find her.
But it was kid number 10. I want to say number 10. He had some tattoos on, kind of light-skinned kid. I can't think what his name was, but he came here and he had 1 year, I think.
He was a one and done.
I think
got 2.
Yeah, but he was a point guard. If they have that kid with Cryer, I want to say the last year was Cryer was here.
Was it Dennis?
Yes.
Or Ray Dennis? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Dennis, when they played Jacoby Walton, those guys. He was a good point guard.
If you had that guy, because he was a guy that could get you 15 or 20. And you couldn't take the ball from him. Mm-hmm. He was just a strong guy.
Facilitate.
Yes. And so, and he, to me, he made Cryer a much better player because he could get it to him. Cryer didn't have to be on the ball because, like I say, man, it was just one of those situations where if they had a kid like that, this team would have been great. But I don't know how. So what I don't know about Coach
Drew.
Drew's system or his recruiting. How can you come into this season without a couple point guards, knowing what you have? Yeah. And this has been the story. Mm-hmm. He's had some wing players that were Edgecombe last year.
Yep.
Same thing. Had wing players that were really dynamic wing players, but without a great point guard, you can't get those guys, you can't unlock them the way they need to unlock. You see what Edgecombe became playing with Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah. Yep. And it's the same deal here. There's nobody to – I mean, as soon as the ball tipped off, by the second or third possession, we already running ISO with Tunde Yesufu or ISO with Kemp. Like, we can't be 3 possessions into the game and we already got ISOs going. That means we're out of offense. We got another 40 minutes to play, and there's no offense. Yes, Cameron Carr can score. Yes, Tunde Yesufu can score, but there's nobody to get them in scoring position, and that's been their biggest problem.
And when you watch them, it looks like every bucket is a hard bucket.
It is. Every bucket is off the dribble, step back three, sideways, going to the short corner. Like, every shot don't have to be that. Can we get easy, consistent offense? They weren't able to do that. Cameron Carr averaged 20. We had a 20-point per game score with another guy averaging 16 or 17 in Tunde Yesufu, and we were bottom place in the Big 12. That's got to be able to change. You're unable to compete in this Big 12 if you don't have really competent guard play. There's too many dynamic. Our wings aren't going to outwing the wings. Our wings aren't going to play better than AJ DeMaster, who came to Waco and dropped 40. Our wings aren't going to play better than the guys at U of H. And our guards definitely ain't going to play better than Cam
Like I say, I
Fleming.
look for the days where he brings in one true point guard and then brings a combo point guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's I think that's the key. If you're going to bring those big-time wing players in, those NBA prospects in, you got to have a strong point guard and then a combo guard that, in case of injury, in case, that can be a point guard if, in fact, you're, even just spell your point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can have scoring on the field, on the court as well. Like I say, man, it was a disappointing effort in my opinion. My question to you is, if you do get a bid to the NIT, do you take it with this team?
Nope. In the NIT, everybody would have to say no for this team to even get in. I mean, they 16-16 on the season. Doesn't get any more mid than that. I don't think you accept it. I think today is the last game. And Cameron Carr go to the NBA, Tunde Yesufu go to the NBA, and you got to retool. Like you said, all the good teams Baylor's had when they won the championship. They had a Davion Mitchell who was a great off-ball guard, but they had Jared Butler who was a great point guard.
Mm-hmm.
When they go to the most talented team I've seen Baylor have in the time Scott Drew's been there back in 2012, you had the Perry Jones who was a lottery pick. You had the Quincy Millers. You had the Isaiah Austins, but you had Pierre Jackson at point guard that could get those guys, distribute the ball before them. When they had Lex Darius Dunn, you had the Tweety Carter at point guard to be able to solidify
those guys right there.
Yeah, like that. That's the formula to being able to win and for Baylor to be able to compete. You're not going to have the biggest NIL. You're not going to have the most attractive college place to come to. So you got to be able to win.
Man, but
those
here's
guys.
the deal with basketball, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to pay everybody.
No, you only need a couple guys. You only need a couple guys out there in basketball.
And it looks like Scott Drew is kind of going against the grain now, and this is what I mean. If you notice, in Houston, they're playing old men, a bunch of old men with one or two young guys.
Yep.
And that's what everybody else is doing. It looks
That's the formula.
It looks like Scott Drew is trying to, take a lot of guys, not a lot, but some guys out of high school, mixed with some inexperienced college guys.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly what
And
it is.
so I think you got to have some guys who've played some real minutes on the team, along with those young guys. I don't think you can depend on those young guys to come in, because there's not many Kevin Durant's and Michael Beasleys, and there's not many of those out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're gonna end up having to play those freshmen, you want to have a bunch of experienced guys around them, because this league that they play in is rough if you don't have experienced players.
It is, and I think that's what they figured out this year. So Baylor's going to have to retool, man. Disappointing year. If you're a Baylor fan like myself, football and basketball probably had two of their most underwhelming seasons they've had in the last decade. I got a couple quick takes before we get off here today. First off, did you get a chance to watch USA versus Mexico yesterday? I watched the game. I'm not a big baseball guy, but I watched on this World Baseball Classic. They ended up winning.
My two favorite
5-3.
baseball players of all time is Maddox and McKinley. my grandson. Other than that, I don't give a damn about no baseball. You hear me?
I try to watch
To me,
what I
they better
can,
than Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds and all those guys. So I've never been a big baseball guy.
Me either.
But you know, it is what it is. So no, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it was a decent game. Not much to watch. I mean, that's the thing about baseball. You can have like a really exciting 2 innings, and then the rest of it is just pitch and catch, and I don't really want to watch that. That's what it was. They beat Mexico, but we know Mexico ain't no top team. Can we beat the Dominican Republic? Can we beat Japan, who we lost in the World Baseball Classic in 23? We lost in the finals because of Shohei Ohtani struck out Mike Trout. Can we win those big games? That's, I think, what the big question is going into it. Jason Tatum, just a couple of games ago, returned from an Achilles injury after only 10 months. Do you think it was smart or bad for Jason Tatum to return that early, and do you think he gives Boston a little bit of an edge in the NBA in what seems to be a wide-open Eastern Conference right now?
Man, again, my belief is on those injuries like an Achilles or something like that, the more time you give it, the better it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And since they didn't need him right now, I don't know why you couldn't give him, why he wouldn't be able to make his appearance in the playoffs. I understand that's not best case scenario, but I'd hate for him to come out here in these games. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be in it, and him have a setback in these games. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I haven't kept up with how he looked in those games.
Played decent. I mean, he had some. The first game, obviously, back, he was very nervous. He hit a couple shots. He airballed a couple dunks. Didn't seem to jump right. He's still trying to remember how to jump. That's going to be his biggest thing, is getting that release
and
the
landing.
right way.
Because how can you jump without thinking about the landing?
You got to land somewhere too. And so they'll try to work him back in. I'm like you. I thought they should have gave it a little more time, maybe work him in right before the playoffs comes, but they want to give him a full, solid month of ramping up for the playoffs. If he's healthy, then it all is going to work out and be good. And, I mean, they get a first-team All-NBA guy back to a team that already was second in the East. But if it doesn't work, it could literally change the trajectory of your franchise in the next couple of years. So it's a risk that they're going out there playing with, but I like to see what's going to happen, and can he work himself up? They play against the Spurs in a couple of minutes here on national television. We'll see what they look like going in. We were talking about this right before the show, before we get off here. The WNBA was not able to reach an agreement with their players, and a potential lockout has been brewing. They all knew it as soon as the season ended last year. But with the the emergence of Unrivaled, a league that was started by the WNBA players, multiple of their top players are invested in this. Aja Wilson, Breonna Stewart, all these different girls are invested in this league. And I think it's been much more entertaining than what the product that the W has put out on the field. They got one-on-one tournaments. That was pretty entertaining. They got 3-on-3 tournaments that's been pretty entertaining. They got the regular 5-on-5 out there as well. What do you think about this new dynamic, I guess, of the WNBA with their players locking out because of contract disputes and now the emergence of a potential rival league?
Well, I just let's be honest. Let's think about this from a business standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Unrivals is a good I think I like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest, the W creates the stars for the rivals.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Unrivals.
For sure.
So with the star creation arm of women's basketball, which is WNBA, is Unrivals what it is, and is it sustainable over time without the WNBA? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
So I think they have to get the W situation straightened out. Here's the problem the W has, and is that are they going to pack fair with the women's players and come up with an equitable split of the revenue?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think the last thing they had on the table was 85-15. Now
that works in the 360 deal.
Yeah. So again, that's where it all. I know, from a business standpoint, I know that a lot of they say, that last year was the first year they've been profitable, but you also have to understand the equity that those teams have generated over this time, that counts as equity as well. So though you may have been, again, it's almost like buying a house. Yeah, you pay your mortgage every month for sure, and that's an expense. But the equity that you have in the home is actually part of the value that's there. And I think the players realize that, hey, you can't just charge us with the expense of running in a deficit for 20 years without also considering the valuation and the value of the teams as part of that equation.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're kind of trying to iron out now. And I just think this is a situation where the players are dug in because, hey, they're making starting teacher money right now.
Yeah, seriously.
They're making first-year teacher money right now as a rookie in the WNBA. They're competing against nothing.
Yeah.
At the very least, I guess the players say we'll go back overseas if we have to, but we're not going to play when you guys have TV revenue deals that are, just about every game is on TV now. The shoe companies have fully invested in the league as well.
Asia Wilson, one of the top selling Nike shoes right now.
Yeah, there's too much, and it's a situation where this is a really interesting dynamic. Since there are only like 11 teams, every team has a star, so to speak. Every team has a what I mean.
And a lot of them have multiple.
Yeah. And so without the star, the rank and file don't control what happens. Like in the NFL, the rank and file controls what happens in the league, right? In the WNBA, because there's so few teams, the stars have all the power just about. And so what the league is negotiating with is really just the stars, not the rank and file guys.
Yeah.
Like in the NFL, while they're always underwater, I think, is that they can make an appeal to the rank and file guys, which they can say, hey, the quarterbacks are going to get paid one way or the other. You rank and file guys, you need to secure what you can while you can, and we're willing to pay you this. And it kind of undermines the spirit of the league. You almost have two different economic classes.
Yeah, you do. In each locker room.
Yes.
Yeah, each locker room is there's the rich guys and there's the football players.
Yeah.
In every locker room.
And so in the WNBA, it's not quite like that now. And they're all sitting there. No one's making no more than a couple $100,000 a year. They're all, in my opinion, in similar circumstances. Yep. And they're trying to get to them M's, baby.
Yeah, they trying to, but it's it's a strange dynamic.
They're not gonna give them away, and they are gonna have to risk canceling the league the same way that the NBA had to do.
Absolutely, it's gonna be a lockout. If the NBA locks out, then the WNBA for sure is gonna lock it. It's not something that they're gonna be able to solve.
Because here's the deal: like a lot of this situation with the W could be resolved if the teams would allow active NBA players to buy the teams.
Yes.
But they've decided that that's not what they're going to do. You know what I mean? They're not going to allow a LeBron James or a James Harden or a team or somebody like that to own a team and play actively in the NBA.
Yeah. But they should, as you said. If the WNBA is already owned by the NBA, let the NBA, and not only let them, they should encourage, I think, to your point, NBA players to be involved in that.
So part of this history of running in the deficit, I think is hogwash because the players, the NFL, the NBA PA has made the same concession that the owners have. And the owners have made they didn't give the NBA PA any equity. They just saying, hey, we both as a collective are going to take some of the burden of running the team, of operating the league, while not giving the players any equity in the teams.
Exactly.
And so that's the hogwash I think is out there, is that, come on, guys, the players don't own it. The players have been subsidizing, the NBA players have been subsidizing the league as well, while having no equity in the league. Let's get those guys involved, really involved in ownership if they want to be, so they can benefit from some of the sacrifices that they've been making to sustain the WNBA as well.
And I think because they've got to figure out a way to sustain the star power from college. Star power is so high in women's basketball, and there's a huge drop-off to the WNBA. So I think, like you said, letting some of those guys get involved would be huge for the WNBA. We're out of time here. Just got a notification, breaking news. Ravens back out of trade agreement for Max Crosby. First thoughts, breaking news that just happened. What you think about? I think it's got to be something injury related for them to back out.
He wants Michael Parsons money and they ain't paying him.
So can you back out that quick because of a contract dispute?
Well, I'm sure he was traded on the condition of an extension was agreed upon.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes no sense for the it makes no sense for the Raiders Ravens to take on a guy who is not under contract that he's happy with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, I think this is Max Crosby driven, meaning that he's got to either be willing to play under his current deal, or he has to get a new contract, and the Ravens have to agree. I would say the injury situation is something that they could have worked around if that was the only issue. You understand what I'm saying? I think this is really about conditions of the Crosby Baltimore contract.
Yeah, Raiders put out a statement that Adam Schefter tweeted out. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement with Max Crosby, and we will have no further comment at this current time. So this is a story that we'll see unfold. Not sure exactly what's going to happen here, but Max Crosby heading back to Vegas. Maybe Vegas got a little bit better. I don't know.
I doubt that he's functioned physical. He was injured at the end of the season.
He was.
But I think unless his injury was
worse than what the Raiders laid on.
Worse than what the Raiders
got a knee scope, and it's really turned out to not be what they thought.
Surgery or it's a degenerative issue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or something like that. So it could be. I take it back. It could be because he is an older player. It could be a physical. More than likely, it's the contract.
That's it. I'm leaning more to your idea. I think it's the contract. He say, I want $50 million a year, and they say, we're not giving you $50 million.
Because they could have got the physical done.
Yeah, they could have been got the physical done.
No, what I'm saying is they could have sent all the images and all that stuff over before the trade even happened.
Yeah. While the trade was being negotiated. Hey, send us his files. Let's see what this guy's medical looks like. Yeah. And they could have decided then. But they went forward with the trade.
Yeah. They could have decided the medical stuff before it went public.
So messy ending here with the Raiders and Max Crosby, who's headed back to the Raiders. So we'll see what's going on. We'll have more show up here this week on Centex Primetime. Hopefully we'll get more of what's going on.
Cowboys, don't do it.
They already got their guy. If they didn't get their guy, that would have been the first thing I said is Jerry finna get back on that phone. But they got their guy.
But also, let me ask you this. Is this also a bit of dirty pool because they kind of waited till the Cowboys signed Gary in order to take a hard line, which takes the opportunity away from.
Nobody like the Cowboys, man. Nobody.
What I mean by that is it really hamstrings the Raiders.
It does. Because a lot of guys have got their guys.
Yeah.
And have spent their money.
Yeah.
So who's spending $200 million on day 4 of free agency? I don't know who's got that kind of money left. So he might be back on the Raiders. That's a developing story. You guys out of time here today. Want to appreciate everybody for jumping in and watching with us here today. Tomorrow we got MCC baseball, more conference baseball starting at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Second game will be at 3 o'clock. You'll be able to catch the action right here on Centex Sports Network. Are you guys doing HBCU Inside?
HBCU Coaches Corner tonight. We have the former Duke star and Tennessee State head coach that's headed to the dance on the show, Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith is going to be on the show tonight. We're going to interview him. First-year coach that was hired late in the summer, dominated in the OVC, the Ohio Valley Conference, and he's already punched their ticket to the dance. We're gonna sit down and talk
Shout
to
out
him.
Nolan Smith, man. He was a dog on that new team they had, and they had some dogs out there. I believe he was on the team that won the championship. Was it?
I believe.
With Kyle Singler and all those guys. I think he was in like 2011. Shout out Nolan Smith. That's coming on at 8 o'clock. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Signing off here today, Jalen Gillis, Rocky Miller. We'll see you guys next time. Everybody have a great evening.